I put 200 Minecraft players on a survival island in hardcore Minecraft and left them all alone to try and survive together whilst trying to build up civilization. But when they all spawned in, the chaos started as the survivors rushed towards the closest trees on this island in the hopes to get their hands on some wood or saplings.
Yeah, I got one, lads! I got a sapling!
As the survivors started to realize the resources on this island were limited, they had another problem.
Oh, a shark!
There's sharks, don't go in the water.
There's sharks? What the
Why are there sharks? What?
This island was surrounded by sharks, making it almost impossible to leave here without a boat, which meant the players that had luckily picked up a few logs from the trees were able to escape from this island in the hopes of finding more land somewhere else.
Nice. Go, faster. Bye, guys.
As the players in the boat started to row off into the distance, the survivors back on the island decided to risk swimming away, which of course ended horribly after they were swarmed by the sharks.
Well, I'm beating up this shark.
With no other options, the survivors left back at the island started to work together to make a bridge across the ocean to see if they could spot any other islands in the distance. But this didn't end well after players started pushing past each other and knocking each other off.
Hello, passing through.
Ouch! I have to. I'm dead.
Everyone who got dirt, go to the front. Oh, this guy's
swapping.
Luckily for the players that had escaped on a boat, after a while of rowing, they were clear of the sharks and started to discover the new islands filled with wood, animals, and food sources that would help them to start building up their civilizations.
Oh, yes. Let's go.
Let's go, lads!
As they hopped out of the boats and grabbed some extra resources, they split up once again and headed back towards the starting island to start picking up players to save them.
Oh, Solar, join. Oh, there's like sharks. Faster, Solar! Nice. Oh, I'm swimming as fast as I can. Oh my god.
After risking their lives, they were followed by this shark all the way back to the new islands and were able to leave the boat just in time before they were bitten.
Ooh, let's go, Solar.
Oh, it's the boys! It's the boys!
This group wasn't the only one to make it away from the spawn though, as a few other players that were able to get boats had escaped to different islands that they had also discovered after fleeing the spawn. But even though they had a boat, leaving spawn still wasn't easy for some.
Don't look behind us.
What the With small groups starting to spread out all over the map, the majority of survivors were still trying to find ways to leave the starting island and survive. And after standing around trying to come up with an idea for a while, it was clear that they had to either risk swimming away and try to avoid the sharks, or die of hunger on the island. So they took the risk and entered the waters, which some players in the boats quickly spotted.
There's people swimming.
Yeah, some people are actually swimming.
They're gonna die.
Somehow, these players got super lucky in their escape and spotted a shipwreck at the bottom of the ocean that they knew they could grab wood from to craft boats to help with their escape.
If we each go down and get one wood, we're good, okay?
After diving below the surface, grabbing a few logs from the shipwreck, and somehow avoiding the sharks, they were able to craft the boats they needed to get to land.
Land! Oh, sweet heaven.
So, as the exploration phase came to an end, most survivors had now started progressing and forming teams on the new islands as they grouped up to stay safe. But due to the huge overpopulation of the islands, the lack of food to split between everyone was starting to affect the players badly, as they continued to enter the shark-infested waters to grab kelp to avoid starving.
I sent like 3 people to collect kelp, but I haven't seen any of them come back.
And with no food returning to the island, some players were starting to die of hunger.
Dude, help! No food! Please help!
Hand him the food,
Okay, I'm taking damage.
Hand him the food.
Give me! I'm gonna die!
Someone hand them food! No!
But as some islands faced hunger problems, others faced much different issues.
Wait, there's a stingray. Guys, there's a stingray in our walls. There's 2.
Wait, this island was called Sexy Nepal. In the first edition of this video, a group of almost 30 players worked together and formed the great and peaceful nation of Sexy Nepal. And after their previous success in my event where they were the last civilization standing, they met up as soon as they could at this island and started working together to build up a civilization of their own once again.
We are all here, like most of the Saxon Nepal is here.
And with a much bigger force this time, they started to build up their island in the hopes to be a leading force during this event once again. And as the other islands continued to grow in size, they were going to have some competition. But even though the larger islands were starting to make good progress, there were still some smaller groups that were new to my events that had no idea what was happening.
Should we like team up with like more people and or like how does this work? We make like teams and groups on the islands?
Have you done this before?
No, never. It's first time, but I saw the videos.
These players were brand new to my events, so had no idea what was going to happen as the event continued, so decided to stand by each other's sides to give them the best chance of survival against the other players and the upcoming phases.
I'm assuming some people are gonna turn on each other. We're just trying to make a small team of people. Let's stick together so we have safety. Can I trust you?
Yeah.
Look at me in your eyes.
I'm a pretty good player.
So as this small group started expanding and recruiting trustworthy players, all survivors continued to make progress regardless of the size of their group or island. And as the preparation phase had now come to an end, this meant each group now had a very important choice to make, as the leader election phase had started. And as the civilizations each started to make podiums for their members to stand on and give out speeches, players all started to gather around to make their votes.
Everyone, this is my speech.
Everyone quick.
I am 10,000 years old and I have exactly 5 minutes in leadership experience and I'd like to be your leader.
I just think me because I'm
stupid.
After a few people had taken the stand on this island, and as more queued up, it seemed one player was slightly confused as he went up and actually started to explain why he shouldn't be the leader instead.
I don't want to be leader because I am not really that good at the game.
But as usual, they saved the best speech until last, as Common Hat took his place on the podium and made a speech to the people of this land.
Who loves war?
Me!
This guy is cool!
War is just part of human nature. Why fight it?
Yes.
You should embrace it.
As leader, what will you do against criminals in our society?
Kill them all!
This guy is actually pretty cool.
Execution! Execution!
We choose Common!
With an inspiring speech from Common Hat, he won the votes of most players on this island who believed he could help them become a thriving civilization. And his first task was to rename this island as the New Slavic Empire.
Today, I proclaim the new Slavic Empire.
Whilst this election happened, Sexy Nepal had also hosted their own election just over the waters from this island.
I am the WoW Dude. In the last event, I was the leader of Sexy Nepal.
Hello people, some of you may know me. About how I'm gonna run this little group of ours, I want to base it off respect for each other.
You guys might not know me. I am a completely new person to these events, but as you can see, I already have full iron armor, diamonds as well. I can lead us to victory. I can arm. I'm not X-ray.
After their speeches were finished, or interrupted, the players started to crowd around their candidates of choice to vote who they wanted to be their leader.
It seems the WoW has more people, slightly more than Kane.
With the close lead, the WoW Dude had won, allowing him to take leadership of Sexy Nepal in the hopes of leading them to victory once again. And surprisingly, Kane was actually happy about not winning.
I'm actually pretty good with this now. I have to make less decisions. It's good.
With 2 islands already having voted for their leader, some of the smaller groups decided against hosting a full election and just gave leadership of the group to whoever took charge earlier on.
Okay, so I'm voting It's Nuke for leader.
Oh, damn.
So with each civilization all over the map having elected who would be in charge of their island, their leadership skills would be quickly put to the test, as acid rain started falling from the sky, sending each civilization into chaos.
Acid rain! Oh!
Everyone get in the mine,
Everyone
in the mine!
go to mining! Everyone, the WoW!
Underground.
Alright, guys,
Underground.
Get food? Yeah, I've got food.
Oh! He's gonna die! Don't die! Go under something!
Players on low health were killed instantly by the acid rain as others took cover with almost no health left.
Oh gosh. Guys, I'm stuck at the surface. Whoa, this sucks. We need to somehow get out of this situation.
And the rain wasn't the only problem that these survivors had to face, as they quickly started to run out of food after having to leave their farms behind on the surface as they took cover from the rain.
We have food problem. We need to resolve it. WoW, take all of your leadership skills and make people food.
You need food?
Food source is just out of reach. Okay, we gotta build out to the crops so we can have food.
As the team that called themselves the Voyagers stood under a small shelter in the middle of the ocean with no access to their food, they just had to hope that they wouldn't starve before the acid rain ended. Back at the island of Sexy Nepal, one of their members called the Potato Guy acted quickly when the acid rain kicked in, and was luckily able to grab a few potatoes to take with him underground, which even though almost killed him, allowed him to start providing food for their team.
I managed to get some potato from the farm. We can continue farming. Peoples, I have started a potato farm in this rock. Potatoes will be growing well.
And somehow, this small farm actually worked well and was able to start healing up the members of Sexy Nepal that had almost died to the acid rain. As for the other civilizations, some of them found this phase hilarious, as they had actually already set up a small area underground, which meant the acid rain didn't affect them at all.
Spicy rain. Oh, hey.
But for the players that had been on the surface, this phase caused them to form new groups underground as they lost their teammates during the chaos. And one of those groups that came together called themselves the Mole Kingdom, and planned to live underground for the rest of the event after the acid rain had forced them all to go underground.
Yeah, we should just probably make it like a small underground civilization.
Yeah. Sounds like a plan.
So instead of going back to the surface, they started working on making themselves sustainable down below by planting trees for wood, making kelp farms to save them from hunger, and continuing to grow in size as more players found this team when mining.
May I join you guys? Up there it's chaos.
And as more players started to join the Mole Kingdom, their original few members started to get worried that they were going to be assassinated by some of the new members after this team had grown much bigger than they anticipated.
This is getting intense. This is getting really intense. I need you to be my second hand in control. If I get executed or assassinated, I want you to be in charge. If I die, he takes the crown of Mole King.
And the Mole Kingdom weren't the first team to start worrying about assassinations, as back at Sexy Nepal, one of their members died in the mines under some very suspicious circumstances.
I was strip mining and I came out here and he was dead!
What do you mean? How did he die?
I don't know.
Someone doesn't just, die.
The other guy was the only one I saw out here.
As predicted, Alinak was murdered by a member of their team for his resources, and somehow, the murderer got away with it as he fled the scene before anyone caught him. But the members of Sexy Nepal were still very suspicious of how he died.
I still feel like Alinak was murdered. That's a weird way to drop dead like that.
Back up on the surface though, the rest of Sexy Nepal were trying their best to build shelter over their farm to help feed their members without dying to the acid rain.
We gotta get this down to our people, because most of them are underground. And try to plant more in the stuff that we already have covered.
After the majority of players had survived through the acid rain phase, it finally came to an end, allowing the survivors that were almost dying of hunger to rush out and finally harvest their farms to stay alive.
Rain's gone.
Now, each civilization had an hour to work together to build up their island as much as possible.
Guys, it's a building competition. Start building.
At the end of this phase, each island would be judged, and the best looking island would be given a reward for their builds. So each civilization started trying their hardest to upgrade their island as much as possible to win. But there was one more civilization that I haven't mentioned yet. This one, the Wumpus Island. This group of players had no choice but to go off the grid straight away to avoid everyone else at the start, because they had the most wanted player on the server in charge of their team. That person was Aerokun. The player known in my events for brutally killing people and having no emotion when it comes to battle was wanted dead by everyone on the server after they all assumed his plan was to eliminate every island one by one.
The PvP section is next. Arrow may come straight.
Yeah, it's annoying Arrow. He's gonna come after us instantly.
But this time, that wasn't the case. Arrow actually wanted to be peaceful in this event.
I don't want to kill innocent people. If they don't want to attack us, then yeah. But like, I just want to
so boring now, Arrow. I thought Arrow used to be fun. What is this?
Bro, I have to be calm for this one. I have to be a little more peaceful.
Arrow made it clear to his team from the start that they weren't going to attack any other civilizations and would only be hostile if they were attacked. But Arrow knew he was wanted by everyone and was on edge from the start of this event, as he was even scared of being assassinated by his own team.
I have slight suspicion that Mighty Matty might try to slaughter me. Just a second.
Which one?
That guy right there.
I got this. Hello, mister. Go away.
Oh, Alfie! Alfie!
There you go. You told me that you were sus that he was gonna kill you, so I killed him.
No, he was really suspicious, but I didn't. I feel like that's a little brutal.
My savior.
It's fine.
What was brutal?
Nothing. We did nothing.
So his team's attempt to be peaceful didn't exactly start well. But Aero wasn't going to be influenced by his teammates' choices, and wanted to build the Wumpus Island into something great. And luckily, they had recruited the perfect players for it.
Wait, we need to build an actual civilization.
Yeah,
that's
just that's actually
right.
a nice little
Who
island.
here's good at building?
I'm a builder. If you guys can get me some logs as well, that would be great.
So with murder off their minds for now, the Wumpus Island started to work together, gathering resources for their builder to start working on a masterpiece. And players in the smaller groups realized at this point that they were going to struggle to compete against the bigger civilizations that had way more players to help with building. So one group took their chances and decided to approach Sexy Nepal to see if they could join their team and work together.
We're friendly.
Hey, hello, friends. I love friendly. You said y'all wanted to join up?
Yeah, we're
Okay.
thinking you join us, we join you, we don't really mind.
We can make the alliance between Sexy Nepal and the Block Gang.
Yes, sir.
I like the sound of that.
You should go tell them.
Dude agreed with the leader of the Block Gang to join forces and work together, but their members had one condition before they wanted to make it official.
If we're gonna merge, I feel like we should call it Sexy Nepal Gang. Like,
I mean, I think it would be kind of funny if the name just kept getting longer and longer.
So with an extra 15 players added to the now called Sexy Nepal Gang, this team started working on building up walls around the shore to prevent enemy civilizations from launching an attack on this island, whilst others had gone underground and started gathering resources.
Wow, mining is so cool. Oh my god. I want to find at least 1 diamond, and I will be happy. Oh, yes.
Diamonds!
And Sexy Nepal weren't the only team making progress, as over at the new Slavic Empire's island, when the building competition was announced, they got straight to work and started building.
Yeah, terraform this. Hell yeah, brother.
Back over at the Voyagers Island, they had barely survived the acid rain, and now started taking this phase very seriously as they needed the reward more than anyone else with such a small team. So after assigning roles to their members and working together well, they slowly built up this small platform into a base with houses, towers, farms, and walls to keep the Voyager civilization safe as things started heating up between other civilizations. And another team keeping out of trouble was the Mole Kingdom. After setting up underground, they found this phase more challenging than others. With limited resources and limited space to build, they tried their best to make something cool, but obviously were going to struggle.
Oh, tree! Tree. Damn, this place is coming along. Jeez.
After some time had passed, they realized they weren't going to win this competition, so decided to put their efforts from now on into something else.
Everybody will be on mining from now on as their duty, because we are quite weak as a nation. Not weak, but poor is what I mean.
And this wasn't the only team that had given up with building, since back at the island of Sexy Nepal, another team had approached them looking to join their civilization since they knew they weren't going to win this competition alone. And as word broke out that Nepal were taking people in, more people kept showing up asking to join.
So what happened is 3 more teams joined us, so we're actually huge now.
As expected, this island started to get very chaotic with the large amounts of players that kept arriving asking to join, which caused some of the original members to actually debate leaving.
What is happening?
Should we go? Or
I don't know. Seems to be a bit chaotic at the moment.
Don't really like chaotic teams, to be honest.
Yeah.
Should we go to separate island or?
I think that we just need to get some saplings and then we can go.
I know an island, so we could go there.
Since there was too many people to even keep count of, players stopped working as a team and started focusing on themselves instead of sharing resources.
Oh, no way. Oh my freaking god. If I do pants 7 and have 4 so I can craft like boots, I guess. Or I can save for enchantment table. Who cares? I mean, who going to think about the team? You see me?
So without realizing, the Sexy Nepal gang was starting to fall apart slowly as the original members weren't so happy about all of the new people. And despite having by far the largest population on the entire server, their island wasn't making much progress with builds. Especially when instead of giving out instructions, their leader was singing to a crowd of people.
I'm going to do something very special for all y'all.
Who here's the pyromaniac?
That would be Janet. If I...
Janet? Oh, Janet. Who's Janet? Jen, mate. Follow me. I need you to put on fire.
Alright. With no real order in this team anymore, Sexy Nepal's main threat was starting to become themselves.
This seems like chaos.
I know one team.
Whoa, Soviet onions, why do you do that?
Who did that?
Why are you doing that? Don't do it, don't do it.
So after coming to the realization that their island probably wasn't going to get a reward for their builds...
Are you feeling confident for the build challenge?
Not really.
Sexy Nepal started to come up with a plan to take down the other civilizations from the inside, as they started sending out players to join other teams undercover to see if they could sabotage their builds to help them win. And one of the teams that they wanted to breach was the Wumpus Island, that had made some great progress since the start of this phase.
Oh my god.
Holy damn, this looks insane.
Thank you. We're still finishing up the roof.
But even though the Wumpus Island were trying their best to keep peaceful with other civilizations, some members on this team were not helping as they went off on their own and started killing the leaders of the other civilizations.
So I have a bit of an announcement. I just assassinated the president of the last island over there.
With players already starting to act out on this team, Aero, their leader, started to become scared that the players going against his orders were going to betray him at some point.
They might try to kill me.
Okay, I got this.
No, don't kill me yet. Alfie, no.
And even worse for them, as they were worried about members of their team planning to kill their own leader, that's when Kane, the second in command at Sexy Nepal, had finally arrived at the coast of the Wumpus Island in the hopes of joining their team undercover and sabotaging them from the inside.
Yo boys, for Sexy Nepal, like they picked some random because they thought their name looked cool.
Yeah.
Sounds like Nepal.
No, it's actually so stupid.
So after telling a somewhat believable lie about why he left Nepal, Kane was welcomed onto the Wumpus Island and straight away started feeding information back to the WoW dude at his island.
He says there's about 20 to 30 of them.
We should raid and only try to kill Arrow.
And Kane was quickly forgot about, as a few members of the Wumpus Island that weren't too happy about Aero's new peace rules started grouping up and talking behind his back.
Hello.
Hi.
What are you guys planning here? What are you guys talking about here?
What, are we not allowed to have a chat?
Nah, I'm just curious. I don't trust it at all.
So as Kane stood around listening in on conversations and feeding information back to his team at the island of Sexy Nepal, he was waiting for the perfect time to start his sabotage and set fire to the wooden builds of the Wumpus Island to ruin their chances of winning the build competition. But it seemed back at Sexy Nepal, they were about to have bigger problems than losing a build competition, as it seemed they had some players undercover in their team too.
Yukahara?
Yes, sir.
I know you're a traitor.
What?
I know you're not working with us. I've seen the DMs.
As it seemed Sexy Nepal and the Wumpus Island were falling apart, one civilization had been making really good progress this entire time, and that was the New Slavic Empire.
Oh, I'm loving what's happening up here. I'm loving this.
Whilst the other civilizations had been dealing with the chaos of betrayals and overpopulation, the New Slavic Empire had been working on huge tree houses, statues, and farms without any issues, and were even able to expand their team during this phase as the Voyagers from earlier approached them in the hopes of an alliance.
Hey, how's it going? We want to kind of just have an alliance with you guys.
Okay. Well, let's sign it. Here, have a torch. Torch of Wisdom.
And the Voyagers weren't the only players that wanted to team up with the Slavic Empire, as the underground group of players that were brand new to my events were approached by Common Hat, who also wanted to join forces.
Hello. Yeah. Hello.
So, I heard you're the team of underground, right?
Yeah. You could say that.
Would you like to join our blossoming New Slavic Empire? Like, look at the statue.
Dude, that is a statue and a half right there.
After agreeing to work together, Snooped was insistent that his rule from the start would not be broken.
Let's not stab each other in the back. That's my one condition, alright?
The New Slavic Empire does not stab its allies in the back. We are an honor-bound culture.
I'm Slav in real life. I'm trusting you out here.
So as the underground civilization joined the New Slavic Empire, their first few minutes on the island didn't go as planned, as the island building phase was put on hold, with each civilization now having to face a shark attack.
Shark attack! Get out of the water! Get out of the water! Get out of the water! Shark attack! Run!
These damn sharks! Why are they everywhere?
That's really sharks.
For the players out in the open ocean, this phase was going to be rough, so some players started taking cover in random bases before they were swarmed by the sharks.
Oh no, right. Oh my god, there's loads of them.
There's loads of them.
Run! Run!
Oh my god! Whose island is this?
And with each civilization being forced to stay on their land, this was the perfect time for them to finish off their builds. But somehow, the sharks still managed to get to them.
Okay, Wyro, how are the buildings looking right now?
Well, we have one house, we have 3 docks, so it kind of looks like a survivalist island at the moment.
Oh my,
Yeah.
Wyro! Ah! Oh my! Oh my god!
I'm bleeding!
But for the teams that had built walls like the Slavic Empire, they wasted no time.
We got 15 minutes to finish the builds. Come on, boys, we got this.
There's an Among Us statue.
Why? Why?
You know what? No, keep it. It's funny.
So as the rest of the survivors stayed away from the waters and avoided the sharks, they made their last changes as the island building phase came to an end.
This place is looking pretty nice.
Now it was up to me to visit each civilization and judge their builds to figure out which would be given a reward. So, I started with the new Slavic Empire.
Oh, he's there! He's there! He's there!
This is where it all started. This is the podium. This is where I was. This is where I was elected. This is our farm. This is where we make the cookies and stuff. Over here is it's a shack. I don't know.
Oh, this guy's doing free cookies again.
We have this thing. Question mark.
Oh, what?
It's modern art.
Okay.
Okay. And the last thing, our tree base. That's about it. And the Amoga statue over there.
Oh no, you've lost point. That has lost you points. That has lost points.
Okay, quickly go destroy the Amoga statue.
Next, I visited the Wumpus Island. The team that had attempted to build their civilization up on peace had actually come together to build a great-looking island with docks, farms, and houses for their citizens to live in, giving them a great opportunity to win the competition after Kane had been unsuccessful in his attempt to sabotage them. After that was the island of the Sexy Nepal gang that had taken an interesting approach to the building competition.
Sword, I built the wall of...
Where? Where?
Come with me.
Okay, make it quick, I got 2 minutes 50 to do this. Oh, nice! Nice! This is getting a lot of blurs right now, but this is great. With not much else on their island apart from a tower, a dock and a podium, clearly, Sexy Nepal hadn't put much effort into their builds. Which was also the case with the Pickle Empire, that had spent almost the entire event up to now worshipping a pickle. Oh.
Alright, this is our god, Mr. Pickle.
He's our Lord and Savior. Apart from that, these guys didn't really have much else, with only some super basic houses and just a messy island in general. Meaning once all of the islands had been judged, it looked like the Wumpus Island was going to take victory, despite someone having literally joined their team with the one job of burning down their island so they couldn't win. But before they were given their reward, the Slavic Empire were begging me to visit their island one more time. Why are you guys spamming?
It's a shrine. It's a shrine.
Oh. Oh, hell no.
Just for you. We made this once we had.
After building my face on their island, the Slavic Empire were awarded 1 extra point, which put them level with the Wumpus Island, meaning they both now had a decision to make. Hello. You are joined by your team, and I am here to tell you that you are joint first in the island building phase.
Let's go.
Nice. For your team, you are allowed to choose 1 item.
Okay, should we take netherite block or enchants? Because both are enchants. Yeah.
I say enchants. Everyone can use it.
But can we have an enchant table, please?
Yeah, enchants.
Yes, you can.
Yay! Let's go.
And after the Wumpus Island picked an enchantment table, the Slavic Empire followed in their steps and also chose to receive an enchantment table for their builds.
Okay, so I've received news from Reese, and we have achieved 1st and 2nd place because we were tied with Arrow's team. So as each of the winning civilizations started to celebrate their victory by enchanting their armor and tools, start enchanting, boys.
Word broke out to the other civilizations that they had lost.
Oh god.
Arrow's team got it. Arrow's team got it.
Slavic Empire. The Slavic Empire!
But things were only going to get worse as the island voting phase came to an end.
Oh no.
Tsunami? Oh wait, tsunami.
Go.
Oh my god.
Tsunami, go, run.
I don't know, but I'm terrified, I'm being quite honest.
A huge tsunami was making its way through the map, ready to submerge everything in its path. And even the Mole Kingdom that had stayed underground this entire time weren't safe as their base started to flood.
Oh, for God's sake, water!
Everybody mining, stop mining, we have to go. We have to go.
I think we're safe on the ground.
Oh!
What's happened? What's happened? Wait, has the underground been flooded?
The underground's been flooded. Mulligan has been lost.
No!
Back at the other islands, they all took to high ground as their progress was being washed away beneath them.
All the crops!
And amongst the chaos, some players started to die as they drowned in the waters below, or fell from the trees as they tried to escape the waves by taking the high ground.
Waxman!
No! Dude, what are they doing down there, bro? What are they doing?
As they thought things couldn't get any worse, their bases were now being taken over by sharks that were able to swim over their walls into their bases.
No! He just died. Shark! Shark, 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 shark! There's a shark, careful.
One civilization started to crumble more than others during this phase, and that was the Wumpus Island.
No, go down, go.
Tsunami, everyone underground, everyone underground
Everyone
right
go
now.
underground, go down, get down. Oh sh!
Get to the high ground! Don't go underground!
Yeah, everyone go up, everyone go up.
Build a staircase!
As their members started to take cover above the trees, Kane saw this as the perfect opportunity to set fire to their houses.
Guys, the house is on fire.
And things got even worse for this civilization as the players that they'd been suspicious of earlier murdered one of their teammates during the chaos for no reason.
Yeah, well, oh, he's dead.
Wait, he died.
No, he died.
Wait, they killed him. Okay.
Get him!
Yep, they killed him. Okay, nah.
No, mate,
No,
I just screamed it. That thing was on fire.
Oh, I'm dead.
Oh, wait.
Good job.
Oh. Wait, who are we killing, Arrow? Who are we killing?
Well, we killed that one that was with them.
With a civil war starting to break out, Kane realized the only way he was getting out of here alive was by escaping, so hopped in his boat and headed into the distance as the Wumpus Island killed as many of the traitors as they could, before checking out the damage of their builds.
Viro's house. Oh no. No. Oh.
They burned down my home!
Yeah, sorry, Viro. We could not prevent that.
So, apart from the Slavic Empire that had built a tree house way above the ocean, the tsunami phase had submerged almost everyone's island entirely, meaning as the waves stopped and this phase came to an end, they had to wait for the water to drain.
Everything we worked towards is gone.
Wait, does this mean I have to rebuild again?
Back at what used to be the island of Sexy Nepal, players started to get worried for Kane, as they hadn't heard from him in a while.
Is there any info on Kane? Is he still good?
I'll check in on him.
Because our spies got killed.
But as they started to question where he was, he had successfully escaped the Wumpus Island and could see his old island in the distance. Or at least what used to be an island.
What the f is this? I am back, boys! I've come back from the mission. Yo, guys, I'm a god. Their team is in shambles, by the way.
As Kane explained everything that happened during his mission, one of the traitors at the Wumpus Island decided to return, which of course was a horrible idea.
This time continue up the island.
Wait, what's happening?
You burned down my home!
Oh, you know exactly what you've done.
So as their chase for the traitor started, they traveled far, far away from their island, as Even tried his best to escape, and led them all the way back to the island of Sexy Nepal to try and cause a distraction. But as Aero approached Sexy Nepal, word quickly broke out that he had arrived, which sent the entire team into panic as they thought he was here to attack.
I'll tell the other. Okay, but
Guys, go.
Actually go. It's Arrow.
Arrow's here.
Raven.
We're not here to fight. We're here to run.
It's war.
As Aero tried his best to explain to Sexy Nepal that he wasn't trying to attack them, he was inches away from killing the traitor, before he was swarmed by sharks, allowing the traitor to get away.
Shark! Hey, Viro, can you assist me here? Can you assist me? Get him off me!
After the sharks had been dealt with, the members of Sexy Nepal had all taken cover above their island as Aero peacefully approached them and explained why he was here.
Okay, everybody stop. Everybody stop.
Shut up.
Alright, y'all stay over here. I'm just gonna go chat with my buddy Arrow, okay?
Okay, come here. Alright, so pretty much, we're chasing a traitor in our nation, that Evan guy. And you guys kinda... Yeah, I don't know. He got disappeared now.
After sticking to their words and keeping peaceful, the Wumpus Island and Sexy Nepal formed an alliance together, which it seemed some players in Sexy Nepal weren't too happy about, since they had agreed since the start that they were going to kill Aero when they had the chance.
Dude, Jordan, this team fell apart completely.
There's going to be a fight soon, either within the teams, but it's just chaos, and we kind of need to leave with a small team.
So as Sexy Nepal split up, these players escaped to another island and started to come up with a new plan to take down Aerokun.
Who is ready to murder some kids?
Let's go!
Yeah! Yeah!
Alright, let's go.
But after realizing their small group wouldn't be able to do this alone, they headed back out into the open ocean and started gathering players from every team that were willing to help them in their attempt to kill Aero. And whilst they were busy visiting as many islands as they could, the members of the Wumpus Island had once again gone against Aero's peace promise, as they stopped by the New Slavic Empire on their way home from Sexy Nepal and started murdering their members for no reason as Aero stood there in shock.
Hello. Oh wait,
Yeah,
what?
Scraps just murdering them.
Wait, bro. Oh, sicko.
Oh, well, there we go.
That's brutal.
Hey, are you guys meant to be here?
No, we came here and we kind of just murdered your team.
What? Oh, run.
After the rest of the New Slavic Empire arrived, hoping to take back their land and get revenge against the Wumpus civilization for their murders, they stood no chance against these warriors, as they were destroyed in the waters around their own base.
Wait, Aero. Let's talk
Jump
about
out.
this.
Oh, I would talk, but it's kinda too late. My team already wants you dead, so,
Wait, actually.
Oh, well.
There he is. I got him.
As Common Hat died, the Slavic Empire had officially crumbled after a great attempt at building up a civilization in this event. And as the deaths of these players were announced in chat, the group that had been growing in the hopes of attacking Aero knew exactly where he was, so gathered their entire force, which was now the largest group on the server, as Kane stood before them all and gave out a speech to prepare them for battle.
Brothers, Aero has suppressed us. Aero has killed our brothers and friends, our sons and daughters. Today that will be no more. Today we will kill Aerokun and bring salvation to these seas. Now who's with me?
Yeah! Guys, with this entire army ready to fight, they all got in their boats and headed towards the old Slavic Empire with murder on their minds.
Oh my god, we literally have an army just to kill one man.
John!
Kill them all!
As this huge group charged towards the island, they were spotted.
Run!
I guess we're dead.
Just go back down. Just go back to old
Go back
islands.
to our island.
Yeah, just retreat.
With no choice but to run, Aero ordered his entire team to fall back to the Wumpus Island, and once they had arrived, they just had to defend the shores from the onslaught that was incoming.
Hold the shore.
Are we fighting? We're fighting?
Hold the shore. If we die, we die in our homeland. That's all I'm saying.
As the attackers arrived, the fight started, and they quickly realized how bad of a mistake they had made, as the Wumpus Island players were starting to destroy them.
Yukihara's dead! Torn! God damn it.
As the battle went on, some players even started making their way over from Sexy Nepal to try and take down the Wumpus civilization. But after what seemed to be a quick battle against a force more than 3 times their size, the Wumpus Island stood strong on their coast, with their entire team still alive, as they had somehow taken out all of their attackers, meaning they were able to start rebuilding this island back to what it once was, with no threats from any other players.
Let's actually rebuild this now.
Well, guys, if you want to really help rebuild it, let's try and get that stone down from there.
But the Wumpus Island was not the last one remaining, since up in a treehouse, way above the surface of any island, was a player called Aruko, that had left Sexy Nepal with the potato guy earlier on, and had been building his own treehouse civilization away from everyone else this entire time. So as they lived happily up this tree, the 2 final civilizations decided to live alongside each other in peace, as the other teams had made an awful judgment about Aero, which eventually led to their own downfall. This event proved that sometimes players can work together to overcome some of the biggest challenges they've ever faced, and have an incredibly fun time in the process of it all. So I hope you all enjoyed this video, and I'll see you all on my next adventure.